what impact you want to make in space. I know you've got a new deal to announce.
Yeah. Well, Ed, Caroline, thank you so much for having me. It's so exciting to be here at Rocket Lab, and you can just kind of feel the energy, not just at Anduril, but in the whole space ecosystem writ large. So, I mean, for us, our focus in space is really around space domain awareness and ultimately ensuring that as space gets more contested and congested with so many assets going up there, that we can defend and protect US assets in space. And you know, the space domain is so critical to everything, not just Anduril does, but the US government does, right? From things like GPS positioning, how our soldiers know where they are, to communications. It's never been more important to protect that space domain in order for Anduril to do what it needs to do on the ground and to support our US warfighters and allies.
So the case study through the news that is out just in the last hour is a deal with Impulse. Yeah. What are the specifics of that? And based on what you've just explained to us, what does a deal like that allow? How does a deal like that allow you to do it?
Yeah, I mean, we're so thrilled to be working with Impulse, with Tom Mueller and his team out there, and the innovations that they're bringing to the space domain. What we got really excited about with Impulse is their propulsion technology and the ability to access higher orbits, GEO and MEO orbits.
And if people just tuning in right now, the basics of their technology, we're talking about a small sats essentially, but they can move them at those different orbits.
They can move them for long durations. They're building what's called an orbit transfer vehicle, so they can move from one orbit to another orbit at a price point and a resiliency that wasn't available before. And the reason that's so important, Ed, is because the US's most critical systems are located in those higher orbits. And those orbits are extraordinarily expensive to reach. And so with our partnership with Impulse, we'll be able to put assets in those orbits to do the kinds of missions that we've been talking about. Now, when it comes to Anduril, we are a mission systems provider, right? We provide end-to-end systems that answer a DoD mission, whether that's observing things in space or doing other things. And so we are really, really excited to work with partners like Impulse to bring together their systems and ultimately missionize them for a DoD use case.
You articulated the threat there, the idea that these assets need protecting, overseeing. How quickly are we seeing other countries doing what Anduril's doing? How quickly are we understanding that their assets are being protected, or indeed that they're going to be able to target ours?
Yeah, I mean, we've heard the US government say openly, space is now becoming a warfighting domain. Just like every other domain, protecting space is critically important. The stat I like to say is, over the next 10 years, our adversaries will launch more systems into space than the last 70 years combined, right? And so whether that's malicious or not, there's just so much going on up there that we need to have eyes and ears on everything that's going on and ensuring that our ability to conduct operations remains undeterred.
And the pivot, the move into space for you, what's that meant? More talent, more investment? What does Anduril need to do to get to the size and scale you want to be at?
Yeah, look, I mean, if you think about what we've done in every domain, right? So if you think about the air domain with our CCA aircraft, our loyal wingman, to the underwater domain with the submarine that's about the size of a school bus, there's one through line that connects all of it, which is that fundamentally what Anduril does is we go from traditional systems, which are high cost, low volume, and we invert that to low cost, high volume systems, right? And the way to do that is through two things. One is a focus on software and autonomy. If you want to be high volume, you got to get away from one operator commanding one system to one operator being able to control many systems. And two is a focus on manufacturing and be able to manufacture at scale. And fundamentally, we see that same need in space. If you think about the challenges that we were just talking about, we need to move to more autonomous systems, more high volume systems that are able to do these kinds of missions as space gets more and more contested.
Throughout the year, we've covered Anduril. Trey Stevens, the executive chairman, has come on the show. Palmer Luckey has come on the show, one of the co-founders, and it's been in that context, that portfolio of products, but also I want to come back to space. I think it's probably a smaller or newer area of the business. Is that fair?
That's definitely fair.
And so let's look forward. How are you growing it? You know, Caroline talked about talent, but from a product perspective, will you offer many things? Do you feel that it's an area of growth for Anduril?
We see it's an area of tremendous growth for Anduril, and it's really the demand signal that we're seeing from our customers. And a big part of that actually is the partnerships. The analogy I use is we want to bring a team of super friends to this market. All these companies in this area, many startups that you're going to talk to today, where we're really special is our ability to understand the government mission and put together a solution. And with the government, the demand signal we're seeing loud and clear, you heard Catherine Boyle talk about it earlier, here is wanting to work with many startups, each of which provide a unique capability, but they need to be put together to solve one of those problems. So if you go back to the analogy of the super friends, every super friend does a unique thing. They have a superpower, but you put them all together and they're unstoppable. And that's what I think Anduril wants to do. We want to bring together a team of companies to go and provide optionality to the government to say, you don't just have to answer these missions in a traditional way. We can bring a non-traditional team to answer these missions at a higher quality, a lower price point, all of those things.
What's it about Southern California and the space industry?
Oh, it's crazy here. I mean, it's just so exciting. You walk into Rocket Lab and you walk past Mission Control, and I mean, just the talent density here that is amazing. And I think that, again, we're all partners in this. When it comes to defense, there's only one team. That's Team America. And so it's really exciting to be able to work with all of these companies here. And you kind of run into the same folks over and over again. So we're super thrilled about that.